Okay, let's just jump right into it. We're talking about a company with a free private browser that blocks ads, and yet somehow they're not just surviving, they're growing like crazy. Oh, and they even pay you to use it? It sounds like a total paradox, right? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how they make it all work. Yeah, that's the question everyone asks. A free product that protects your privacy and it pays you? It feels like there has to be a catch. So we're going to do a little investigative work here. We're going to follow the money every single step of the way and figure out how this business model is actually built and if that catch really exists. All right, so to really get how Brave makes its money, we've got to first understand the problem it was built to solve. The whole company is basically a reaction against the way the internet works today. And the story starts with a legit pioneer of the internet. We're talking about Brandon Eich, the guy who literally created JavaScript, a language that powers pretty much the entire web. And he also co-founded Mozilla. He saw the internet heading down a path he didn't like, and his big idea was to build a real challenge to surveillance capitalism. You know, the big tech model where you and your data are the actual product being sold. This brings us to the absolute core of what makes Brave so different. They didn't just block ads and call it a day. No, they decided to reinvent the entire advertising game from the ground up. To pull this off, they created their own cryptocurrency, the Basic Attention Token, or BAT. You can think of it as the gasoline for this whole new system. See, instead of your data being the thing that's bought and sold, Brave System makes your attention the valuable asset that you get paid for. And here's the nuts and bolts of how the money moves. Step 1. Advertisers who want to reach you have to buy their ad campaigns using that BAT crypto. Step 2, and this is so important, you have to voluntarily choose to see these ads. You opt in. Step 3, because you're lending them your attention, you get rewarded with 70%, a huge slice of what the advertiser paid, all in BAT. And finally, Brave takes the other 30% as its cut. It creates this clean, transparent financial loop between everyone involved. And this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? A massive 70% chunk of the ad money goes straight back to you, the user. In the old model, you know how much you got? Zero. Nothing. This radical revenue share is the absolute cornerstone of their ad business. It's how they get you to actually want to see an ad. So you might be wondering, how are these ads not creepy? Well, here's the key difference. Traditional ads are like little spies that follow you all over the web, building this detailed, and let's be honest, kind of creepy profile on you. Brave flips that completely. The ad matching happens right there on your computer. If you're reading about hiking, it might show you an ad for boots. But that decision is made locally on your machine. Your personal data never ever leaves your device. This is Brave's whole pitch to advertisers. It's their philosophy. They argue that it's way better to show an ad to one person who actually agreed to see it than to just blast it out to a million people who are doing everything they can to ignore it. It's all about the quality of that attention, not just the sheer number of eyeballs. And the proof is in the pudding, right? Advertisers aren't just buying a nice idea. They're buying results that are, frankly, kind of insane. Brave ads get click-through rates of 9% or even higher. That absolutely crushes the industry average, which is down around a measly 2%. Turns out, when people opt in, they actually pay attention. Who knew? But the ad model, as cool as it is just part one of the strategy. You know, a smart company never puts all its eggs in one basket. So let's look at the next pillar of their business and see how they're building out a whole ecosystem. So Brave has gone and diversified its income by building out this whole suite of premium subscription services. If you're a user who wants to take privacy and security to the next level, you can pay a monthly fee. They've got a full device VPN, a premium AI assistant, a private video conference tool, even an ad-free version of their own search engine. It's a classic, smart, and reliable software-as-a-service model. And it doesn't even stop there. On top of the subscriptions, they have a bunch of other ways to make money. They serve privacy-safe ads on their own search results page. They sell access to that search technology to other developers through an API. They take a tiny 1% fee if you buy crypto through their built-in wallet. And yeah, they even do some affiliate marketing. It's not just one thing, it's a whole financial engine with lots of moving parts. So,
We've seen all these different revenue streams, the wild ad model, the subscriptions, all the little side hustles. But is it actually paying off? Let's get into the hard numbers.
First thing you need for a business like this is an audience. And boy, does Brave have an audience. As of 2024, we're talking 94 million people using it every single month. That is a massive group to build a business on. And to put that in perspective, that number has nearly quadrupled in just 4 years. That tells you there is a huge demand for a private alternative.
And all those users are turning directly into cold, hard cash. The company pulled in $52 million in revenue in 2024. But here's the stunning part. That's a 100% increase from the year before. They doubled their revenue in a single year. That kind of acceleration shows their whole complex strategy is really starting to fire on all cylinders. And it's not just users who are paying attention. Investors with deep pockets have taken notice. The company was valued at nearly $1 billion, $980 million to be exact, all the way back in 2022. A number like that means sophisticated investors see enormous long-term potential here. They're betting big that this whole privacy-first model is the future.
And that belief started super early and with a bang. To get this whole ambitious project off the ground, Brave did an initial coin offering for their BAT token back in 2017. And the result was just wild. They raised $35 million in less than 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That one event gave them the cash they needed to actually go and build everything we've been talking about today. Okay, so we've followed the money. We've seen all the different pieces of the business, from crypto tokens to VPNs. So what's the big takeaway here? What does all of this mean for the rest of the internet? When you boil it all down, Brave has basically built this incredibly robust, multi-layered business that proves privacy and profit can absolutely go hand in hand. They succeed because they share the wealth, which in turn gets them amazing ad engagement. They diversify with classic subscription models, and they're building their own independent tech so they don't have to rely on anyone else. They've managed to turn privacy from just a nice feature into their main competitive advantage.
Look, Brave's journey so far seems to scream that yes, it's possible. By completely realigning the financial incentives of the web to reward you, the user, instead of just tracking you, they've built something seriously compelling. And it leaves us with this one big provocative question. Could this actually be the blueprint for a better, fairer, and more private internet for all of us?